This kid is the star of recess, the star of track and field. I want answers about him. This is insane.
This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Julia Teixeira filling in for Marissa Roberto, and the Oilers are back in action tonight, trying to turn their little 2-game winning streak into something meaningful with their second game against the Kraken in the span of a week. After hitting an all-time low last Thursday, when $25 million goalie Jack Campbell was sent to the minors, and following that up with a loss to the historically brutal San Jose Sharks, Edmonton has since shown signs of life. They picked up their first win on Saturday versus Seattle, with Hyman getting a hat trick, but McDavid and Draisaitl were held completely pointless. Even though it might go down as a win that kickstarted a streak, it will also go down as Jay Woodcroft's last behind the Oilers bench, because even that win wasn't enough to save his job. Monday was the beginning of the Chris Knoblauch era in Edmonton, and his big guns got up for the occasion. Draisaitl had a 4-point night and McDavid notched 2. The Oilers almost never win on the rare occasion that Connor and Leon don't put up at least a point between the two of them. So Edmonton's hoping that the big game on Monday will put an end to the unprecedented pointless streaks that those two have been going through this season. While the goals have been great, only allowing 1 per game in their last 2 games is probably a bigger win than anything for Edmonton, who, thanks to those 2 results, have gotten their goals against per game down to 3.71. Still, it's a long way to the top for the Oilers. Right now, Money Puck gives them a 55% chance of making the playoffs, which is pretty crazy considering the terrible start they've had, and how good their division is. Tonight's game is big because they trail Seattle by 4 points in the division, a team that also hasn't gotten off to a start that they've loved. They'd really like to get into the win column in Alberta tonight after dropping their last 2 in a row. To the NFL, and we got some huge news this morning, as Deshaun Watson is out for the season with a shoulder fracture. He'll undergo surgery and head to IR, and while many expected PJ Walker to be named the starter, head coach Kevin Stefanski said moments ago that Dorian Thompson-Robinson will start Sunday versus Pittsburgh. It's been a very up and down season for Watson in Cleveland this year, as he's averaging just under 200 yards passing per game, throwing just 7 touchdowns and 4 picks. But in the second half of Sunday's win over Baltimore, it looked like prime Watson was back for the first time as a Brown. As against one of the league's best defenses, he was a perfect 14 of 14 for 134 yards, while also throwing a touchdown. And most importantly, leading the Browns to a 14-point comeback win. And here's the crazy thing, the shoulder injury happened in the first half. So that perfect passing performance was with a fractured shoulder. Cleveland is currently sitting at 6-3 and 6th in the AFC playoff picture. But can they close out the season in a playoff spot with Dorian Thompson-Robinson as their starter? And that also brings up a very interesting what if, because Josh Dobbs was the Browns' backup during training camp. And he's now looking great as he pushes the Vikings to a playoff spot. You gotta think, if he's still in Cleveland, they'd be cruising to the postseason right now. Sticking with quarterbacks after spending the last month on the shelf, it looks like Justin Fields will be back on the field Sunday against the Lions. As Ian Rappaport reported earlier today, that as long as today's practice goes well, he'll start Sunday, with the key to his return being regaining grip strength on the football. Now, when Fields went down, the Bears were 1-5. And then Tyson Bagent went in and went 2-2. Now, realistically, in these last 7 games, Fields might be playing for his job next year. Because if the season ended today, the Bears would have not 1, but 2 top 5 picks, including first overall. So you have to assume they'd take either Drake May or Caleb Williams. To the association, and the roller coaster ride that is the Toronto Raptors season continues tonight. And we gotta break out the vibes chart once again, because it really does swing game to game with this squad. But against the Wizards, it was legit quarter to quarter with the dramatic swings. And tonight they face one of the teams that first inspired our vibes chart, the Bucks, who they beat by 19 2 weeks ago. But there are some major injuries for tonight's game, because the Bucks will be without Giannis, and the Raps are potentially missing guys too, as OG and Gary Trent Jr. are both listed as doubtful, and Dennis Schroeder is listed as questionable. So who knows what kind of game we get now. And you can watch the Bucks and Raps tonight on TSN. Coverage kicks off at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. All right, so obviously with me hosting the show today, it means Marissa is off doing something. And today's something is CFL Media Day from the Hammer. We'll have to wait till tomorrow to see exactly how things went with the Bombers. Here it is in the latest edition of Roberto on the Go.
Okay, here we go. It's Media Day, everyone. Look at this. Proof that we're in Hamilton. There's Matt. There's Puck. getting ready. We're walking to our location. Look at Pac, look at all the stuff he brought, okay? This guy's ready to go. It's like he just came from school. Look at that easel, squeezing it up the escalator. This is the main room where they're gonna bring all the players. Every player has their own booth. Some of the more popular players will have bigger booths. Here's the most popular guy at bar down taking a photo with a gray cow.
You know what it's time
Do
for.
fit check with Death. Wow, look at this guy. Okay. Wow, he's just always looking fresh, this guy. Before we set up in our room, we have to check out where we're gonna eat lunch. They already had the chips set out. They had some breakfast out as well, which is really nice. It's the little things, you know. Now we're up in the room, ready to go. We got a chandelier for lighting. Pac ready for his first interview, and look, there he is, Jackson. This guy's CFL ready. Here's just a tease of the moments I was having with these boys. Yes, I did bring my ukulele. Waiting for the Alouettes. We got a little break here, bud.
Little break.
Sound bites. Actually got here late, we missed lunch. No, look, there's a fruit bowl. There are Timbits, but sadly they've been picked over. Oh, no. What are you going with? Chips for lunch, got the salt and vinegar, and then back at it. Look at Pocket Fajardo. This is gonna be a good video. That's it for day one. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Look at his socks. Wow, always on brand. Say bye, Matt. Bye.
Time now for my favorite segment and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
And this video is too wholesome. After Sunday's game against the Seahawks, Commanders tight end Logan Thomas was talking to DK Metcalf about how Metcalf is his son's favorite player.
Yes, sir. You too, bro. I know it might not mean nothing, but my son, big fan. He's 15, built just like you, bro. Keep doing your thing, man. You can get this one up. Get this one too.
Real recognizes real. I can't focus on anything but DK Metcalf's arms, but the rest of the video is also really nice and wholesome. So nice of him to sign those jerseys. Aww, but his arms, like that is the focus of this video to me. That is the strongest man I've ever seen in my life, and also this is wholesome. That's my take. And we finish with this very polarizing McDonald's order because Jameson Williams of the Lions puts his Oreo McFlurry on his burger. Oh! Okay, the thing is, it looks disgusting, but I'm big on like Wendy's fries in a Frosty. I'm big on dipping your French fries from McDonald's into your McFlurry. This is definitely taking it a step further, and I think, what kind of burger is this? This is just a classic McDouble? I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's that offside, to be honest with you. I like a salty sweet moment. That's all for me today. Marissa will be back here tomorrow at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific.